everybody. We are going to spend just a couple minutes talking about the rubric for our final paper, the critical analysis essay that we have spent the entire term working towards. Before we dive into the rubric though, I want you guys to take just a minute to appreciate this moment and how awesome it is. For 7 weeks you have done exquisite, challenging work to get to this point. You should be very proud of the dedication you have to your own success. You have done amazing, and you should be proud of the work that you've done. It's great. I'm super proud of all of you. This has been an amazing term, and I feel very lucky and privileged to have been able to go on this journey with you. So yay you guys, you got this. You totally got this. It's awesome. All right, let's take a look at our English 122 Assignment 2 grading rubric. And remember, we can look at this just a couple different ways. We have our critical elements down the side, and then we also have our exemplary, proficient, need improvement, not evident, and point value. I really encourage you guys to strive to meet the requirements for all of the exemplary. That's like our big goal that we're working towards. So let's talk about this just a little bit. The first critical element that we have for our critical analysis paper is the introduction in terms of the overview. And what we really want to do here is make sure that we provide an adequate and clear overview of the work being analyzed. So this is where we would say, this is the name of the essay, the author, and maybe give, a sentence or two summary of that author's goals and maybe what the paper was about. And then the next critical element that we want to make sure we hit is our thesis component for our introduction. This is our claim. Remember, through the entire term we refer to this as our claim. And then we have that thesis formula that we've transitioned from our claim into a thesis. And so we want to make sure that our thesis is composed clearly, and it clearly states the claim that you're going to be proving throughout the essay. We want to be as clear and concise as we can be, and that's why I recommend that we utilize that thesis formula that we presented in the last two weeks. Okay. Our next critical element that we want to look at is our body in terms of intent. We want to have multiple paragraphs, and remember, in MindEdge we answered those prompts for our first draft, and we want to make sure that we're taking those prompts, those answers to the prompts that we had, and turning them into a full fleshed out paragraphs. And remember, our paragraphs need to be a minimum of 5 sentences, but you can write up to 8 or so. So make sure that we have multiple paragraphs that are long enough, and we want them to be sure that they are focused, clearly state their intent, and build and support that thesis, the argument that you're presenting in your thesis. And we also want to make sure that we use specific examples and evidence to support what we're saying. Okay. The next critical element is our body paragraphs, and we want to make sure that the actual paragraphs, again, we want to make sure that they're long enough. Let's not have 2-sentence paragraphs. We want to make sure that they support the claim by combining our thoughts with the evidence. And this is where we want to make sure that we're using signal phrases and anchoring our quotations to our own words. So we want to use phrases like, for example, or in Tan's essay, she says. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are fully integrating our evidence to support our ideas. Okay. Then we're on to our conclusion. We want to make sure that our conclusion provides a good review of your claim. We don't want to copy and paste our thesis. We want to rephrase it a little bit. Okay. So review your claim and summarize the key supporting ideas that you talked about. And we want to make sure that we can be as clear as possible with this critical element too. Then we have our insights section of our conclusion, and this is where you talk about what maybe you've learned. What new insights do you have about your claim or the author's claim? Okay, and we want to make sure that we do tie those insights back to specific key points in our essay or quotes that we've used in our essay to support our ideas. Okay. And then we have our articulation of response. And this is where we want to make sure that we have clear sentences, appropriate word choice, make sure the periods are all in the right place, that sort of thing. But it also means that our citations are correct. Part of the articulation of response critical element is ensuring that we're writing to our specific audience. And remember that we use a specific writing style to reach a specific audience. So if we're writing an MLA, we want to make sure our citations reflect MLA. We also want to make sure that we have that information that we need, like our name, our professor's name, that kind of stuff in a title. If we're writing an APA, we need to have a cover page. Make sure that our citations reflect APA standards. So it goes beyond grammar. We want to make sure our citations are correct as well. And remember that I'm here to support you through this entire process, as is the SNHU Online Writing Center. Feel free to submit your paper to me via email early if you'd like me to take a look and review it. But you can also do that with the SNHU Online Writing Center as well. You have a lot of support here, and you guys are doing amazing. So let's make sure to keep the rubric in mind as we're polishing up our final essays, and let me know if you have any questions. I'd say good luck, but you don't need luck. You totally got this.